it's your Star Goddess. It is Conspiracy Monday, and let's get into some conspiracy. Okay, so y'all have asked me about these birds up in Houston. Okay, I live 15 minutes from Houston. Used to live in Houston for most of my life. Moved to the suburbs outside of the city. Okay. Um, I have seen that video with all those birds by the freeway. Driving, that was downtown Houston, I think, and people were like slamming on their brakes because these birds was all in the way, driving, getting too close to the cars. There was like this ominous cloud in the sky, and I told y'all last week before the bird thing even happened that there's some crazy stuff in the sky in Houston. I keep telling y'all, I look up in the sky and I see something almost every other day. Okay, just that's Houston. Okay, I think I tried to get it on Snapchat, I don't even know if I did, but I saw like this little meteor trail shooting star thingy the other day in broad daylight. Okay, there's giant, weird, strange looking clouds all throughout Houston, Katy, surrounding areas. Okay, I see it. It's crazy. You'll see blinking lights inside of them. Now I feel like if you've seen that movie Independence Day, with Will Smith, you'll see that when the big ship came, there was like some birds that were like flying through the sky like crazy. And it came in a cloud. Okay, now I know that they're cloaking stuff in clouds. That's not a secret anymore because I've seen it. Okay, and I'm not crazy. All my mental capabilities have been checked out. Okay, so I know what I'm seeing. Everybody else sees that there's videos on it. If you Google or search on YouTube UFO sightings in Houston, you'll get a lot of stuff that comes up. Okay, so yeah, these birds were acting all crazy and da 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 da. I've seen that as well in Katy. Okay, I was at the movie theater, and if those of you who follow me on Snapchat, y'all probably seen it. A couple of months ago, I was driving through like a big old flock of black birds. Okay, um, and my crazy self went because I saw these black birds, and I'm like, ooh, that would be fun to drive through because I'm crazy. And even though I just told y'all I wasn't crazy, I'm just adventurous like that. So I got the kids in the car and we like drove through this area with all these giant birds. I mean, not giant birds, all these black birds, and they were just flying everywhere. And I felt like I was in the Alfred Hitchcock movie because I used to watch that movie, The Birds, when I was a little kid, and that was like my favorite movie. So I wanted to experience it in real life. So I drove through all these birds. Okay. Now, that week in Houston, it actually flooded. Okay, if you go and research, let's see, the day before that and the day after and the day of, it flooded in Houston like really bad. People were like underwater. Their cars were submerged in like 7 feet of water. Okay, people couldn't get to work. My husband had to stay home for 2 days because of the flood, and that was exactly when all those birds were flying around Houston. Okay, and I believe that, you know, I've told you guys that they control the weather too. There's things in the sky, you don't know what they are. So I believe the birds could have been one or two things. They could have been responding to some large craft in the sky that was being hidden. And, you know, birds can sense, you know, certain frequencies and things like that. And if they're using sonar, you know, technology, birds are very sensitive to that kind of stuff. Okay, weather apparatuses also use sonar, as well as probably advanced technology of, you know, different crafts. So birds will start to act strange and do some strange stuff when they detect something, you know, and vibrations or frequency in the air. They're going to start to act strange because it's not of the norm. They're going to be attracted to it. They're like, what is this? We don't know, So, yes, I believe that there was something in the clouds. Houston is, NASA's in Houston. We're right by the Gulf of Mexico, very close to the Caribbean. So it's like, this is very easy access to, underground, underwater, NASA, whatever. So yeah, I believe it's something conspiracy worthy. And like I said, I have seen the blackbirds before that day because I drove. I feel like it was probably some type of cloaked thing in the sky, and I don't know the reason for the flood. Maybe because they needed to do something up in the sky and needed everybody indoors or looking at the ground at the flood or something, as a distraction. Because when it's raining and flooding, you're not looking up, you're looking at the destruction and all the things that are going on around you and trying to save your car and trying to get home and get in the house and watch the news. You're not looking up in the sky. So who knows what that was for? It could have been a major distraction. It could have been something, having to do with how they produce weather and the sonar from the weather making apparatus or whatever you want to call it, and just rain too much. Or sometimes they rain, they create floods to get certain people to move out of certain neighborhoods. Okay. Oh, this area floods, we got to move, for real estate purposes. I don't put anything past anyone because I don't trust. I know that my mom used to have a house in this area, in Houston, and it never flooded there before. Never flooded. Well, I lived there all throughout junior high, high school, never flooded. As soon as that area got, as soon as people got the eye for that area to start building these nice high rises, because it's right, next to the freeway, they built one high rise, right? And they were like, oh my God, we can make money. All of a sudden, that area started flooding. Okay, the next year, the year after that, I think it flooded 3 times, and my mom was like, I'm done. I gotta go. She sold her house. It was a nice house too. She didn't get a lot for it because, it's a flood zone. Oh, it's a flood zone. You're not gonna get a lot of money because it's a flood zone. Okay. So she has money already, so she doesn't care about getting what the house is, supposedly worth. So she moves, buys land, gets in the country where it doesn't flood anymore, and da-da-da-da. But now it's not flooding over there anymore. Now that most of the houses are gone and all the nice, high-rise and townhomes and $300,000 apartments and townhomes are built over there, for the young single people in that area. And the area was nice already. It's just that the houses in the neighborhood were like from the 70s and 60s and 80s, so they wanted to totally have it remodernized. So of course they started flooding it over there. There's a dam right behind it, so I'm sure they did the same thing in New Orleans. So when they want people to move out and to sell, they create floods, fake weather. It only affects certain parts of the city. It didn't affect, the suburbs and the nice areas. You'll never see that flood. So think about that. It's a conspiracy altogether. It could be some crazy stuff altogether. Weather machines, aliens, interdimensional beings, greedy people. I think it's all of it combined, I wouldn't include the interdimensional beings, but if they're connected to the greedy people, or some of them, because not all aliens or interdimensional beings are evil and not all of them are good. Okay, so you can't just categorize these entities. Okay, and so I feel like the birds were telling us there's something going on that we don't see, and to open our eyes and to look and to investigate, because something is not right. And when birds start acting crazy, something is not right. Okay, we've seen enough horror movies alien invasion movies, science, sci-fi movies, to when the birds start acting crazy, something is up, okay? So I will see y'all later. Tell me what y'all think it was. I'm already telling y'all, I think it was weather making sonar to make it flood, okay? But I could be wrong. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.